You know that whole how did he know moment at the table? Daniel Kid Poker Negreanu lives for those. Over the next 10 hands, watch him dial in opponents' whole cards like he's peeking at them under the table. This is poker on a whole new level.
Over to Ryan McLean with pocket aces.
Maybe this is the Canadians' year to win the main event.
I don't really want to, but I kind of have to.
Well, you didn't have to, Daniel.
To the flop, it is 5-4 queen.
You see, Daniel hits top pair and he's hopelessly behind. That's why he didn't have to.
You know what I think he's got? Aces.
That is uncanny.
I think he's got 2 aces.
What do you do if you're McLean now?
Well, I'm not even sure McLean has aces, and we can see his cards.
McLean, a little more than half the pot. Bets 12,000 with his aces.
Well, if Daniel is so sure he has aces, why did he reach for chips?
Ace!
Yeah, he made the call. Is a deuce. No help to Daniel.
Daniel's talk has frozen McLean. Daniel talked his way into a free card.
Why would you check aces on the turn? That was such a strange play. You had a straight draw and everything.
McLean checks it. Daniel checks it out. There you go.
Aces.
I told you I knew what he had.
This player fires a big river bet. Daniel checks and plants his elbows. A second later, he puts aces or kings and he mucks on the spot. The chips slide his way so fast, you'll swear the dealer has a favorite.
Negreanu's loving life right now on the button with this hand.
But he makes the call. Both blinds will fold, so 3 players will see a flop. No 6 for Boniardi, but a 9 high flop could get Daniel in trouble here.
Daniel looked a big speculative pre-flop, and now he's picked up top pair. He might get in trouble. No slow playing for Shlomi. 5x pre-flop, pot on the flop. Daniel's still not convinced. He wants to call.
He does make the call.
A big pot is brewing.
No real threat out there to Shlomi's kings.
Shlomi can't be too concerned about this turn card.
21-25.
This time he decides to make it a little bit cheaper for Negreanu. Daniel is trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And he makes the call. He's not entirely convinced yet. Again, this river really doesn't change much. The only hand this helps is 6-7 or 8-9. And Shlomi only fires out a third pot on this river. He gives Negreanu a fair price to make this call. He's getting 4-1 on his money.
Right.
Daniel is determined Angel Small River Bet is a value hand that Kid Poker can't beat. Although it's hard for him to rep a hand, he's bumping it up.
You got aces or kings. Can I say that, or is that illegal? Heads up. I can say what he has, but not what I have. Okay. I'm thinking aces or kings.
You think right.
Daniel really pulled the trigger correctly on that one.
And Shlomi's now thinking, if you've read me for aces or kings, surely you can beat aces or kings. I have to fold.
If I show one, do I have to show all? Okay. I can show one? I can show one if I want to? I don't feel like it.
4 players see the flop and Torelli thinks he's safe. Daniel taps the felt once and knows it's a set of 5s. Torelli's cards hit the muck before the turn even hits. Pure table sorcery.
Queen 5 deuce with 2 clubs, a set of 5s for Torelli. Negreanu was the pre-flop aggressor. He has ace high in a backdoor club draw, and he bets 1,150.
Over half pot into 4 opponents, this bet should come free with a drink at the bar because it is a little nuts.
Torelli raises 2,500 total. Sammartino gives up the 3s, Palafis is out. Luca folds as well. Daniel calls.
Daniel's now put in 25% of his stack with no pair and no draw. He's going to need more runners than the New York Marathon.
Well, Daniel's going to be loving that card. He now has second pair plus the flush draw. Torelli obviously still big favorite with those set of 5s.
And it looks like Daniel's going to donk lead this. Don't let the name fool you. Even the pros do this sometimes. That's when you bet into the last aggressor.
Daniel's bet 30% of his remaining chips. The river card is the ace of diamonds, giving Daniel 2 pair. And he moves all in. We could be about to lose Daniel Negreanu.
Sick part is he thinks he's value betting.
67.
I want to fold.
You don't have a fold?
No, I want to fold.
Oh,
I wanted to
did you have
fold
ace queen of hearts? Is that what you have? 'Cause that's kind of what I put you on.
Fold the damn turn.
There is an argument. If you call the turn, you have to call the river.
I mean, it's really hard to be bluffing.
That part's true.
You're special, though.
That's what I've been told.
Alec is getting almost 3-1.
He had fives?
Ding.
And he lays it down.
David shoves the river. Sure, he's got the nuts. Daniel leans forward, reads ace-king, and chips flood the pot like they're magnetized. It's less poker and more detective work in reverse.
Top pair now for Vamplu.
Good spot for Daniel to just check and pray for a cheap and fruitful showdown. Right now, David just trying to figure out the price of this value meal.
He only has 36,000 behind.
On.
And he shoves.
I fold, but did you have ace king? No? You didn't have ace king? You had aces or something? No, you didn't have aces. What the hell did you have?
This player barrels a river bluff, thinking Daniel's weak. Daniel just sits back, pegs the bluff, and scoops the pot without breaking a sweat. You half expect him to wink at the camera afterward.
Okay, do what you gotta do. I understand. I'm not gonna take it personal. Here, take it. Take whatever you want. I just don't fold. It's so boring to fold. So I decided, no more folding. You never know what you might hit. I don't know what I have yet. We'll see. I'll tell you what I have after the flop.
What you have, Daniel, is top pair.
Scare card.
Yes, 3 spades, and we're 3-handed here. Really not supposed to be talking.
I'm gonna take a stab. Nope. I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna take a stab. That's not. Yeah. See what that does. 82. Lots of fun stuff happening on that board. Give one of these. Cool. My dad used to do this to me when I was younger. He gave me the nose when he'd stare at him.
You can't see it, but we're totally doing it.
Tarhanovs does have draws to go with his jacks.
You're the guy who checked queens before in the 10-high flop, so now I'm scared.
Daniel should absolutely be betting this board.
He does, 9,600.
96? Yep.
Safe river, safe bet.
Tarhanovs still only looking at 1 overcard to his jacks.
Yeah, like jacks or queens or something like that? Is that what you have with a spade? Is that what you have? Jacks or queens with a spade? Oh, I got it! He smiled, that's what he's got.
I'm smiling because you are talking.
Oh, I love to talk. I don't shut up. You haven't been paying attention the last 4 hours?
Story checks out.
When have you seen me shut up? I just keep blah, 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 blah. Diarrhea of the mouth. Can't help myself.
What do you have?
What do I have? I would tell you, except you're not allowed. It's an EPT rule. I would tell you exactly what I have, but I can't.
Call. Because you're
I
Negreanu.
have a king.
No.
Okay. Works.
So Daniel wins the last hand of the level.
Slomi trying to get a read on Daniel here. Daniel picks aces without missing a beat. The rest of the chips go in, and Daniel's already stacking them. It's like watching a mind-reading act at a magic show.
I don't know, I'm thinking, it's early, but I probably shouldn't play this one, but I'm gonna see a flop with you. Yeah. See what you're up to early on.
Daniel calls. Deuce, 5, king, 2 clubs.
Uh-oh. Check.
14.
Given bets.
Yeah. 1,400. Do you have a king?
I may have.
Do you? Just tell me. It's fine. Do you have a king? No? Okay, I called in.
Oh my lord, not only was that free information, but Daniel didn't even have to work for it.
7 of spades on the turn. Daniel checks.
He doesn't have a king. You're an honest man. I like that.
So does Given. 6 on the river.
You got a 5?
Do I have a 5?
A 3-4.
3-4. I'm gonna bet you $1,200.
Daniel bets.
It's a weird bet, I know. It's a Phil Hellmuthian-like bet, right? It's a Hellmuthian bet.
I played that bad. I'm just breaking the ice. I think he might have 3-4 though.
Fold.
No,
Post-flop, Daniel leads out and locks in pocket fives as the best hand. His opponent mucks before they can even count their cards. That underdog hand becomes a secret weapon in his hands. But how does he see that every time?
Interesting hand, pocket fives.
This will be good enough to open up for a raise, I suspect. Daniel likes to play a lot of hands.
Good enough to get rid of Youngland and Lederer.
Nobody wants to take on Daniel Negreanu here.
Action around to Magnus Persson, the Swede. He's in the big blind, and he decides that there's value enough to make the call, even with 10-8 offsuit.
Well, he does have 2 overcards, luckily for him.
They have both missed that. It's given a gut shot to Person, but he won't like those spades.
And Daniel Negreanu's definitely going to make a continuation bet here.
It's legitimate for Magnus to put him on the ace. He did bet in early position, but
with a gut shot, it's worth a small call.
And now Magnus bets. Time for Daniel to put his thinking cap on.
Daniel's got a tough call here. You know, he represented the ace, but now because he checked the turn, it looks as if Person might have that ace. Tough position for Daniel Negreanu.
Weird. Something doesn't feel right. I don't know.
Magnus trying to look as relaxed as possible, like he's definitely winning this hand.
Daniel Negreanu does know that the story doesn't make sense.
Rule that out. To tell you the truth.
And if Daniel is suspicious, that means he's definitely considering a call here. Wouldn't be surprised at all, one of the great readers in poker, if he made this call. And he does. Correctly so.
Yeah, same idea. It was an all or nothing call. All right, thank you.
Good one.
Thank you.
Daniel Negreanu knew he was either up against a monster or a complete bluff.
On an 8-deuce river, Daniel sizes up a bet and calls 4s on Adam Jones. Jones mucks so fast you'd think that he saw a ghost. Mind games dialed up to 11.
7 deuce of hearts.
Wild Bill broke the first rule of poker. Keep your back to the wall.
Daniel Negreanu with pocket 9s. Daniel's going to raise it up to 2,200. Nobody gets a cheap card around here. There's David Stuck, a truck driver from Erie, Pennsylvania. King 10 offsuit from the big blind.
Boy, I would say that's a loose call from the big blind.
1,600 more it cost him. Jones, with the raise to him, will call 1,600 more to him.
Jones calls another bet with 7 deuce.
4 to the flop. It is deuce, 4, 6. Antil got just what he was looking for, a set of 4s.
I know Jones used to ride Bronx for a living, so he can be a little reckless, but are we kidding here?
Special with Negreanu after him. Daniel's going to raise it.
10,300.
10,300 more.
Yeah, Daniel likes the flop. It doesn't seem to threaten his pocket 9s.
Oh, Antil calls.
Oh, Jones gets off the horse.
So heads up, Negreanu and Antil. 8 of spades, no help for Daniel, who trails big time.
And Daniel slows down. Lon, he doesn't just have a 6th sense. I believe he has a 7th and 8th sense.
At least. Antil checks also.
Antil will not let him know the strength of his hand.
Another 8 on the river. Antil earns the check mark. And he's got the full boat. Daniel checks again.
15,000. Make it 15,000 with pocket 6s or pocket 4s. Which one is it?
Wow.
He's the best.
Pocket 6s or pocket 4s, quick.
Take your pick.
Huh?
Take your pick.
It's either one. Can't beat either one, buddy. You bet the turn, I was just going to fold. I really was. I was just going to give it to him. I mean, he had to have 6s or 4s, but... 15,000. There's a gazillion in there. I'm going to fold the second best hand.
He's right.
Daniel is the only player at the table, Lon, who has access to the other player's hole cards.
The amateur had the goods on Daniel.
Sexton fires a huge river bet with pocket kings. Daniel flat calls, then drops kings on the table and scoops the pot. Respect floods the table faster than the chips do.
The crowd here at the Rio Poker Room being treated to some very entertaining poker at this final table. 3 pros and a taxi driver. Mike Sexton with pocket kings. And he's going to raise it up to 22,000.
There were 3 ways to get into the TOC: win a circuit event, make the final table of the 05 main event, or get a sponsor exemption.
Sexton with the advantage going to the flop. The flop 5, 7, 6 rainbow. Sexton's kings keep Daniel in hot water. Daniel checks. And Sexton will slow play the kings to the turn. It's a deuce. Daniel pairs his card. A couple of more outs there for him.
Daniel's still far behind.
But he is going to bet it. 30,000 chips.
Well, for all Daniel knows, his deuces are the best hand right now. Sexton might have just a couple of high cards.
And Sexton's right behind him with the call. River card is another 5. Sexton gets the check mark with kings up. Mike Sexton with kings and fives, bets 50,000. That got Daniel's attention.
He's betting 50,000 into a pot of 110,000. Value betting this baby. Yeah, Daniel's thinking, what can I beat? And of course, what does he have?
He might have like kings, I guess. It's crazy.
He might.
2 kings?
That is unearthly. Daniel might be an alien.
I just want to see him.
Oh, he was going to pay for the information and make the call.
How scary is this guy?
You have kings?
How scary is this, really?
Yeah, I thought that's the only hand you could have was 2 kings. At least I called it right.
What is that is dabbing it there now?
I didn't have any clue what you had. How's that?
I put him on kings and still paid it off.
That was impressive, though.
That was.
Nice read.
Yeah.
I had no clue what my
If it was a nice read, I would have threw it away. But actually, no, it was a fine read, because that's the only hand I thought that... Never mind.
Wow.
Down to Queen Jack offsuit. Daniel shoves blind. He nails the 8 of diamonds on the turn, then the Jack of diamonds on the river, and that makes a straight flush. The table explodes. It's pure poker telepathy at its finest.
Jerry Buss is still trying to manage a big-time chip deficit to Daniel Negreanu. Queen Jack offsuit and quickly moves all in. Jerry Buss on ace-10 quickly calls.
It's the right call. He's got the best hand.
That's not good.
Well, no, I don't have very many chips, then. 1,800 a round. I got 2 rounds left. I don't call. I think you probably got me.
I don't know. I have a decent hand.
Daniel has a little hope. Jerry said, I think you finally got me. Daniel turned over his queen high like it might be the best hand.
Get lucky one time.
These two have been very forthcoming about their hole cards so far in this match. Flop is 5, 9, 10, a pair of 10s for Jerry Buss.
I got another big hand.
Right, but Daniel's flopped an open-end straight draw. Daniel has a lot of cards to win with. In fact, it's pretty close. You see the graphic, 52 to 48.
I'd open it straight against the pair.
He needs an 8,
2 hearts, 4 diamonds.
Jack, queen, or king.
2 hearts, 4 diamonds.
Again,
Jerry calling for the cards he wants again.
Not again.
That would be a good...
Daniel said, not again. You did it once. Don't do it
Not
again.
an 8. 8 of diamonds. That'll be exciting.
No.
Turn is the 8 of diamonds, and Daniel makes it straight.
He said 8 of diamonds, and 8 of diamonds came. Amazing. Now Jerry needs another diamond to make a flush.
Jack of diamonds.
Daniel says Jack of diamonds because that would give him a straight flush, negating Jerry's ace-high flush.
Not the Jack of diamonds.
The river,
Jack of
the
diamonds.
Jack of diamonds. You gotta be kidding.
I called the 8 and the Jack. That's unbelievable. I can't believe that. I called the 8 and the Jack. It's unbelievable. I made the straight flush.
That is unbelievable, Matt. He called the 8 of diamonds, and then he called the Jack of diamonds. Unbelievable.